Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be discussing the paranasal air sinuses and I'll be teaching and showing you some of the mnemonics that help me to remember this paranasal air sinuses. So first off, what is paranasal air sinuses? Paranasal air sinuses are air containing cavities in the bones around the nasal cavity. So there are air containing cavities found in the bones around the nasal cavity. They are lined by pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelia, and this pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelia can also be found in the nasal cavity. So the pseudo-stratified columnar epithelia is not only found in the paranasal sinuses, it's also found in the nasal sinuses. Now let's move into our mnemonics. Now the paranasal sinuses can be remembered using the word fame, FAMES. Now the A in the fame currently has no meaning, but as we progress into the video, you will be discovering the meaning of A in the fame and how it will help you to know more of this paranasal air sinuses. Now, the function of paranasal air sinuses are that it makes the skull lighter, it adds resonance to the voice, and it helps in the development of facial skeleton after birth. Now, the F there in the paranasal air sinuses means frontal air sinuses, and this frontal air sinuses is not present at birth. It start developing after 2 to 3 years and after birth. So it's not present at birth, while others, which are the maxillary air sinuses, ethmoidal air sinuses, and phrenoidal air sinuses, are present at birth. So the maxillary air sinuses are the largest air sinuses, and it appears 4 months in utero. So it appears 4 months before birth. As when the child is still in the womb, by 4 months, the maxillary air sinuses start developing, appears. Now, classification of paranasal air sinuses. We have we have two classification of paranasal air sinuses. We have the anterior classification and the posterior classification. Now, the our mnemonic FAME can help us remember the classification of anterior paranasal air sinuses. The F there means the frontal, the M there means the maxillary, the E there means the ethmoidal, which is the anterior and the posterior part. Now, the ethmoidal air sinuses has three parts, and you can remember this using etrimoidal. Etrimoidal. Let me just write it out. You know what I'm saying? Ethmoidal air sinuses have three parts. Et- Etrimoidal. Now, it has the anterior, the middle, and the posterior. The three there will help you to remember that it has the anterior and the middle and the posterior. The anterior and the middle part of the ethmoidal air sinuses are part of the anterior classification of the paranasal sinuses, while the posterior part and the phrenoidal ethmoidal air sinuses are part of the classification of what? Of posterior paranasal air sinuses. Now from here you can see the diagrams. The ethmoidal, you can see it has three parts, the anterior, middle, and posterior. And from the diagram this side you can see the ethmoidal arranged. Now this paranasal air sinuses drains into a meatus or a recess. Now for the it can drain into the middle meatus, can drain into the superior meatus, can drain into the phenoethmoidal recesses. Now for FAME, it drains into the middle meatus. Now the F there is the frontal um, air sinuses. The E now has a meaning as the anterior ethmoidal air sinuses. The E there is what? The maxillary air sinuses, and the M there is the maxillary air sinuses, and the E in that mnemonic is what? The middle ethmoidal air sinuses. Now this film drains into the middle meatus. Now for the posterior ethmoidal air sinuses, it drains into the posterior meatus. and the phenoidal air sinuses drain into the phenolethmoidal recess. Now, for me to explain, because the middle myotis has different parts. It has the hiatus semilinaris and the bulla ethmodalis. It has three different parts, and this different part has a special part. Example: the hiatus semilinaris has the anterior part, the middle part, and the posterior part. And this paranasal air sinuses drains into specific part of this middle meatus, and I'll be showing you how you can actually remember the one that drains into a particular part. Now the two parts that is here is what: the hiatus semilunaris, the hiatus semilunaris, and the bulla ethmodalis. Now the hiatus semilunaris has three parts. That's the anterior part, that's the middle part, that's the posterior part. You can actually represent this anterior, middle, posterior, and bulla ethmodalis as the FAME. So the F there is representing the anterior hiatus semilinaris of the what? Middle meatus. The A there is representing the middle hiatus semilinaris. The M there is representing the posterior hiatus semilinaris. The E there is representing the bulla ethmodalis. So you can actually use this anterior, middle, posterior to represent the fame. That's FAME in our mnemonic, and it will help you remember which paranasal air sinus drain into a particular space or a particular opening in the lateral wall of the nasal cavity. Now, this is a diagram I introduced into this lecture to actually show you the openings and to actually show you the air sinuses draining into the particular openings you can see in the diagram. So, from the first thing you can see here, you can see that you can see um, the opening of the phenoidal air sinuses, and from our mnemonic, the opening of this phenoidal air sinuses is where the phenolethmoidal recess. Now, for the opening of the posterior air sinuses is where at the superior meatus. The opening of the here the fame, which is the FAME, is where at the middle meatus, and the middle meatus has two parts. It has the hiatus semilunaris that has three parts. The anterior will take the F, which is the frontal air sinuses. The middle will take the A, which is the anterior ethmoidal air sinuses. The posterior will take the M, which is the maxillary air sinuses, and the bulla ethmodalis, which will take the last E, representing the middle ethmoidal air sinuses, and so on and so forth. So from this video you have learned the openings and the classifications, the functions, the definition of paranasal air sinuses. And if you have any question, you can type it at the comment section. If you have any contribution, you can also type it at the comment section. If you love the video and you want more of this video, you can click the like button, and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.